On October the 12th, 1915, this nurse was executed by firing squad. She was trained at the London hospital. Edith Cavell.
You can become a district nurse once you've got your state registration, and then you do a further training for district nursing.
If you're a pupil nurse, you can go out with a district nurse on the district to see some of the patients that you might meet up again in hospital, or just to get to know some of the people in the East End.
Don't normally visit people just when they're going into hospital to see them off. Rather nice, we're passing. Well, I've been visiting Mrs. H for quite a long time, treating her varicose ulcers on her legs, and these have now healed. And she has been in quite considerable pain recently, but doesn't complain an awful lot at all. I think she's had quite a hard life. Mrs. H is a lovely old lady. I've enjoyed visiting her. She's cheered me up no end when I've gone in. Although I suppose I'm supposed to do that for her, really. Quite a poppet, really. She's very good company, good to be with, very cheerful lady. And they've now sent her her letter to say that she's going to be admitted today for further examination and treatment when they've diagnosed her complaint. And she takes her husband's photograph everywhere with her. She'll probably take it to hospital with her today, I expect, and put it on her locker.
I'm doing an SRN course, that is state registration, which lasts 3 years. The time is split up between ward work and going into the School of Nursing.
The London has managed to get rid of the image of sisters all being old and perhaps unapproachable. This is not true in this hospital. The majority of them are young and very approachable.
I'm doing a Bachelor of Science course. It's a 4.5 years course, and at the end of this time I hope to get the Bachelor of Science degree plus the state registration.
I think the wards are well designed. They are subdivided into 3 6-bed and 1 12-bed section. At one end there is a balcony, and at either end there are windows. The wards are very well decorated too. They're very modern. The curtains match the wall and that sort of thing.
I'm training to be a state-enrolled nurse or an SCN. I do a 2-year course as a pupil nurse and spend most of my time on the wards and not so much in school.
Oh, well, Doctor, what's the matter with me?
We shan't know, Mrs. H, until we've given you some more tests. I'll arrange for you to go down to have an X-ray taken as soon as possible.
Thank you.
It looks like a case of gastric ulcer, but we can't excel the possibilities. We'll arrange to have some samples of gastric juice taken. We may have to do surgery.
Sometimes the middle-aged person, but much more often the older person.
Well, medicine in itself is very interesting. It means more when it's your own body you're finding out about.
Here, which shows quite obviously that there is carcinoma of the pylorus.
It's not really obvious to me, I'm afraid.
Well, if you just look, I'll show you.
I think the system of small tutorials is much nicer because you don't feel embarrassed about asking any questions, and it's much more of a further educational course. The tutorials take place in the School of Nursing, which is a marvellous building with excellent facilities.
The nurse's residence is named after the founder of the hospital, John Harrison, and so it's called John Harrison House.
Before I went to the holiday camp, I was working as a model in London, the back of Oxford Street. It broadens your mind terrifically.
When I left school, I didn't know what to do, and then I got a fabulous chance of going abroad under VSO. I went to Nigeria.
I taught as well, privately, little Brazilian children.
When you're married, you can work part-time, so combining marriage and nursing works out quite well. It's nice to have another interest in life. You could say that the practical experience you gain from your training helps in running a home and raising a family. Anyway, you don't have to work in a hospital. You can work part-time in industry or work from home on the district.
Nurses generally move in here at the beginning of their 3rd year. I've got my own room, which I can decorate in any way I want to. There's a bathroom, which I only have to share with one other girl, so it's almost like having a flatlet. The kitchen's just down the corridor. There's every modern convenience that one would want. It's just right for one person. You get privacy or company as you want. The uniforms were designed by Hartnell for us. When you first come up to the hospital, you have a fitting in the linen room, so they're all completely individually fitted. Some people don't like the idea of wearing uniforms. In fact, it's quite an advantage because it gives you confidence when dealing with patients in perhaps awkward situations. In the London, there is absolutely no difference between any of the uniforms for the years. In fact, you're very proud to wear it when you go on the ward.
It's very hard not to get involved with patients, but if you can strike up a relationship where you can help them, they also help you really because they give you confidence and their trust in you gives you more confidence. Then you find you can help them in a way perhaps you wouldn't have thought you'd be able to before you started nursing.
The London has a lot of up-to-date equipment, but it is the nurse's duty to look after the patient. If, for instance, if you take a patient to X-ray, you must explain to them what's happening because they're a bit terrified, really, of seeing all the equipment around, and you just reassure them that there's nothing to worry about.
Very comfortable in there. We're first of all going to take her blood pressure, and the most important thing is to apply this cuff fairly tightly around the arm. So, we're going to record it with a sphygmomanometer, which is the name of the machine. Right, put your arm down. You're going to listen, and as we pump the pressure of the mercury up in the column, we occlude the blood in the brachial artery, or stop it flowing in the brachial artery.
Right there.
That's done. What is it?
Oh, it's all right.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Here comes the tea.
Hello, Mrs. Rich. What would you like? A cup of tea? Yes, I'll have a cup of tea. I'd love a Guinness. Would you?
It's all teamwork in the ward. An orderly is part of this team. She is there to do the more unskilled jobs, for instance, making patients tea, arranging flowers. This enables the nurses to get on with the real job of nursing. Nursing is a job essentially where you have to work with other people the whole time. Staff nurse is just likely to take a bedpan to a patient.
Relationships between the staff on the wards is very good at the London. It's got to be. You're a team. After all, you've got to work as a team.
It is, in fact, a university hospital, not just an ordinary hospital. You meet lots of people with different experience. Mrs. Wilson's had a cardiac arrest.
To say you save a life is dramatic, but I suppose it's true. It's the immediate action that'll save the patient. If you leave a patient who's not breathing for more than 3 minutes, the amount of brain damage would be so extensive, it would be better not to resuscitate. The other patients are usually alarmed by what's happening in the ward, and it's essential that you go and sort of reassure them. And
This is the actual valve. It's called a Starr-Edwards valve and is actually sewn into the heart to replace a diseased mitral valve. Some of you probably have nursed a patient after cardiac arrest, or a patient who's had a pacemaker fitted to help the heart to beat. And in the future, all sorts of different artificial parts may be improved for use in helping our patients. Now, the nurse's part in the team caring for cardiac patients is absolutely vital, so it's important that she understands something of the patient's condition. Here's some film which shows the difference between a diseased and a healthy heart.
naturally, sometimes when a patient arrests, you sometimes wonder it would be better not to resuscitate. If you walk around the hospital and bump into a patient you know really has died twice, it makes you wonder a little bit. When you see a very seriously ill patient get better, you really feel you're achieving something.
Pull the needle out cleanly. Stretch the skin taut between your thumb and finger. Pick up your syringe and with one clean, sharp movement, dart it into the skin in that way. This will give you easiest penetration of the skin and is the most painless method of giving an injection. Would you be kind enough to give Mrs. H her injection for her premedication? Thank you very much, nurse.
You do a minimum of 2 months in the operating theatres, and then after your first 2 days you're shown around the theatres, and you're put in one and you just work from the beginning. It's very different from ward work.
If you make special arrangements with a sister in your ward, you can also go and see an operation on closed-circuit television. How's it going?
Everything's all right.
What are they doing now?
Well, he's just about to remove part of the stomach.
We're rather lucky in John Harrison House because we can entertain our own guests in the entertainment room or the music room.
Hello, folks.
Only we could be
Where have you been? Got even wine.
That's enough, thank you.
This? Can you drink some more?
Yes, please.
You know, I really can't understand why you girls can spend 3 years of your life training to be a nurse.
Well, why on earth not?
Well, nursing isn't all empty and bedpans.
What are you going to do when you're finished?
Get married, I suppose.
I'm not.
Why not? Why not? I thought everybody wanted to get married as soon as they finish
Well,
training.
it's not a girls only function enough. I want to get married eventually, but I think I should go abroad or something first. Perhaps be a ship's nurse or something. Think of the opportunities. Think of the people you meet.
Yes, with a nurse's training, you can go anywhere in the world.
Yes, but if you get married, surely you'll want to leave the profession. The two things can't run hand in hand.
Oh, no, I disagree. I think that you can work together with marriage and work.
Really?
For a while at the beginning.
You think it can really work?
Yes. From home you can work as a part-time nurse or as a district nurse.
It still seems to me a hell of a long time to spend 3 years altogether training.
Nursing isn't just the training. It's more sort of a way of life where you have a different sense of values afterwards. And
Not so much a training.
Nurse, I'm in such pain. I'm sorry to bother you, but can you get me something?
When a patient has got a lot of pain, a nurse is called upon for sympathy and kindness and understanding. It's no good a nurse thinking the pain can't be that bad because she's not feeling it. So you have to sort of speak to them and find out if there's anything you can do to help them, apart from drugs, and make them more comfortable. It's important for the nurse to try and make up her mind which is the right drug, because one day she will be state registered and have to choose herself which drug to give. I think perhaps when you're nursing, just to be able to do something to ease somebody else's pain, this gives you a feeling of satisfaction. To know that you can do something and not just stand by and watch helplessly. It's a pretty wonderful feeling.
Have you heard how Mrs. H is getting on?
Had any thoughts of the operation yet?
Yes, we've had the laboratory report through, and it was just a simple ulcer, and it's been completely removed. And she's doing extremely well. Would you like to come and see her?
Nose, yes. Oh, really lovely. Thank you very much, sister. Look better.
Yes, put on some weight.
Yes, I have.
Yes, you look much better.
Do you know this is the first meal I've had?
Really? You're going to eat all that?
You can go swimming, even sailing, and of course play tennis. There are lots of facilities and clubs connected with the hospital.
Patients you get in the East End are definitely different. They're very friendly. They don't demand too much. Their gratitude is enormous.
Hello, Maureen.
Hello, Mrs. H.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
Fine.
How's yourself?
Oh, not too bad. Much better.
They're great people.
Very happy.
They're always so grateful for what you do for them.
Lovely.
You're putting on a bit of weight, aren't you?
Do you think so?
Yeah. Cool. Like a little whippet when you come in here.
Go on.
What lovely senses of humour they really have. Well, when you're a nurse, you get a feeling of satisfaction from realising you're helping people.
Hello, Mrs. Lang. Oh, hello. How are you? Oh, fine, dear.
And you're not just wasting your time on a 9-to-5 job, perhaps, where it's just a means of earning money.
They're not only good, they've got glamour here. Oh, that's nice. Huh? That's lovely.
What would we do without the patients?
Good blimey. Fancy missing me.
They're so natural and they're not inhibited in any way.
Mother's got no teeth.
They're such characters underneath it. I don't really think you'd get the same feeling in another hospital.
Well, the London is the London. Hello, Mrs. Wilson. Hello. You better?
Well, I'm feeling very weak, but I'm improving.
Yes.
From the way the patients speak to you afterwards, you realise you're helping them in ways that a lot of outsiders can't.
Been so happy here, believe me. Care I've had here is marvellous.
You're on the ward long enough to get to know people and they get to know you. Therefore, this is the most satisfying thing when this patient gets better and goes out and says, perhaps turns to you or, in fact, the whole team in the ward and says, thank you very much. Without your help, I would never have got better, which often happens. The satisfaction of knowing that you have actually done something for that particular person. You haven't just been doing work which you would do normally, but in fact you've given that patient something which is completely intangible. A sympathy or the right word at the right time. Anything that would really help this patient to get better, even if it's not physically better, mentally. When you see somebody actually responding to you yourself, then this is something marvelous. It's almost like a miracle.
Not so much a training, but more a way of life.